Imagine this: the vast, unforgiving expanse of the ocean. A lone ship is spotted, drifting aimlessly. As rescuers approach, they see the lights are on, a strange sign of life on an otherwise silent vessel. But when they board, they find an unnerving scene. The ship is completely empty. Not a single soul is on board. This isn't a scene from a Hollywood movie. This is the real, baffling story of the Kaz II, a modern-day ghost ship that continues to haunt maritime investigators and armchair detectives alike. So what happened to the crew of the Kaz II? To understand the mystery, we need to go back to the beginning. It was a beautiful sunny day on April 15th, 2007. Three friends, Derek Batten, Peter Toonstead, and his brother James Toonstead, set off from Airlie Beach in Queensland, Australia. They were experienced sailors, embarking on what was supposed to be a dream journey, a multi-week trip up the coast of Australia. Their vessel was the Kaz II, a nearly 10-meter-long catamaran, well-equipped and in perfect condition. They were in high spirits, looking forward to the adventure ahead. They made regular calls to their families. Everything seemed perfectly normal. But then, the calls stopped. Just 3 days later, on April 18th, a helicopter spotted the Kaz II drifting in the Great Barrier Reef. Its sails were up, but shredded, and it was moving aimlessly with the current. From the air, it was clear something was wrong. A full-scale search and rescue operation was launched. When maritime authorities finally boarded the ship on April 20th, the mystery only deepened. The scene they found was surreal. It was as if the crew had vanished into thin air. On the dining table, a laptop was open, still powered on. Plates were set, and food was ready to be eaten, a meal that was never finished. The engine was running, all the crew's personal belongings, wallets, phones. Clothes were exactly where you'd expect them to be. Fishing lines were found trailing in the water, one with a small fish still on the hook. Everything pointed to a normal, everyday routine that was abruptly and inexplicably interrupted. The ship itself was in surprisingly good condition. There were no signs of a struggle, no evidence of a fire, no structural damage that would suggest a major catastrophe. The life raft was still securely in its place. Even the life jackets were neatly stowed away. It was as if the three men had simply stepped off the boat into the middle of the ocean. The only things that were noticeably out of place were the torn sails, and, crucially, the ship's logbook was missing. The one document that could have provided a timeline, weather conditions, or any hint of trouble, was gone. This immediately sparked a media frenzy. Theories began to fly, ranging from the plausible to the outright bizarre. Was it a freak wave? Modern-day pirates? Or something more sinister? Let us break down some of the most prominent theories and see if we can piece together what might have happened to Derek, Peter, and James. The first and most widely accepted official theory is the freak accident scenario. The coroner's inquest pieced together a possible chain of events. The investigation suggested that perhaps one of the brothers, James, fell into the water while trying to free a tangled fishing line. His brother, Peter, then jumped in to save him. The owner of the boat, Derek Batten, realizing the two were in trouble and drifting away, might have started the engine and turned the boat to go back for them. But in the process, he too fell overboard, perhaps knocked by the swinging boom of the sail. It's a tragic sequence of events, a domino effect of accidents that could happen in a matter of minutes. This theory explains a lot. It explains why the engine was on, why the boat was in gear, and why no one was at the helm. It also explains why the life jackets weren't used in a moment of panic. Rescuing a loved one, grabbing a life jacket isn't the first instinct. The boat, now unmanned, would have simply sailed on, leaving the three men behind in the vast ocean. It's a heartbreaking and plausible explanation, but it doesn't satisfy everyone. Why? Well, for one, the conditions on the day they disappeared were reported to be calm. While the ocean can be unpredictable, a series of 3 separate falls overboard seems incredibly unlucky. Also, these were experienced sailors. Would they all make such critical errors one after another? And then there's the missing logbook. If this was just a tragic accident, why would the logbook be gone? It doesn't quite add up. This leads us to theory number 2. Foul play. Could the Kaz II have been boarded by pirates or smugglers? The waters off the coast of Australia are not known for piracy, but it's not impossible. Perhaps the crew stumbled upon something they shouldn't have, an illegal operation, and were silenced. This would explain why they were all taken, and why the logbook, which might contain coordinates of the encounter, was removed. However, this theory also has holes. If pirates or hijackers boarded the ship, why leave the valuable vessel behind? The Kaz to itself was worth a significant amount of money, not to mention the laptops, phones, and other equipment on board. There were no signs of a struggle, no blood, no bullet holes. Everything was neat and tidy, except for the unfinished meal. Most criminals aren't known for their tidiness. They would likely have ransacked the place, taking everything of value. The scene just doesn't fit the profile of a violent boarding. So, if it wasn't a simple accident, and it wasn't pirates, what else could it be? This is where the theories get a little more creative. Some have suggested an insurance scam, that the men staged their own disappearance, but their families were adamant that this was out of character. They were happy, financially stable, and excited about their trip. There was no motive. Others have whispered about paranormal explanations, pointing to the ship's location near the Coral Sea, an area sometimes compared to the Bermuda Triangle. UFO abductions, sea monster zoo, name it. Someone has probably suggested it. While these ideas make for exciting stories, there is absolutely no evidence to support them. One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence recovered was a home video found on a camera on board. The footage was shot by the crew just hours before they are believed to have disappeared. It shows the men happy, fishing, and enjoying their trip. Derek Batten is at the helm, Peter is fishing, and James is filming. The sea is calm, the sun is shining. There's absolutely no hint of the tragedy that is about to unfold. The video ends at 10:05 a.m. on April 15th. That is the last time any of the three men were seen alive. This final, happy footage makes the mystery even more poignant and chilling. They had no idea they were filming their final hours. The official coroner's report ultimately concluded that the men had accidentally fallen overboard and drowned. The coroner stated that the boat became a ghost ship, not because of any mysterious event, but because of a series of tragic, unfortunate mishaps. He suggested that as one brother got into trouble, the others tried to help, and in the unpredictable ocean, one small mistake led to another, resulting in all three men being lost at sea. Despite the official conclusion, the families of the men have never been fully satisfied with this explanation. They feel that too many questions remain unanswered. Why was the table set for a meal that was never eaten? The timing seems off. Why the missing logbook? And could three experienced men all really fall overboard in relatively calm seas? The lack of closure has been devastating for them. The story of the Kaz II serves as a chilling reminder of the power and unforgiving nature of the sea. Even with modern technology, GPS, and reliable vessels, things can go terribly wrong in an instant. It shows how a normal day can turn into a lifelong mystery. What do you think happened? Was it a tragic, one-in-a-million accident, as the coroner concluded? Or is there a piece of the puzzle we're still missing, hidden away with that lost logbook? The truth, most likely, was washed away with the tide, leaving us with only the haunting image of an empty boat, drifting under the Australian sun. The Kaz II was eventually recovered and sold, but its legacy as one of Australia's most perplexing maritime mysteries lives on. It forces us to confront the fact that sometimes, despite our best efforts and most logical investigations, we may never find the answers we're looking for. The ocean keeps its secrets well. Thanks for watching. What are your theories on the Kaz II? Let me know in the comments below. And if you find these kinds of mysteries as fascinating as I do, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you and miss our next deep dive into the unexplained. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.